Hello, today we are going to learn Houdini, so let's jump into it. So first of all, I have removed all the clutter because that is just going to confuse us when we start using the software. If you see, at default you have like tons of these buttons everywhere and you have no idea what to do with this. So I recommend you just hide all these and focus on what is important. So here I just left on the left side the 3D viewport and on the right side this node view. So first of all we are going to learn something called SOPs, that stands for surface operator, and this is also called OBJ. You can see all these three character shorts. So OBJ is also referred to as SOP. So first of all, let's press Tab and type Geo, and this will create a geometry. Okay, and next we will jump into this by pressing the I key, like into. And now we are going to create a cube. So press Tab and type cube, and then enter, and enter again. And now we have a cube. And you can see this is really simple when you remove all that clutter around it. Okay, so what is a cube? So for this I'm going to switch from the scene view to the geometry spreadsheet. And here we can see we have 0 to 7, so 8 points, and that is because the cube consists of 8 points. And here I'm going to expand this and actually show the points, so you can see these dots. And if you go to the second icon here, these are the vertices, and this is basically, if you see, one side contains 4 points and this side also 4 points. So this shared point is using a different vertex for a different side. So that's what this second icon is for. And you have more in this case. So if side 0 has then point 0, 1, 2, 3, and next side 0, 1, 2, 3, this, and then so on. And you can see here that this polygon vertex is using point number 1, that you can see here is point number 1, 0.5 minus 0.5 minus 0.5. And these are the coordinates of these points. And then if you go to the third one, you can see 0 to 5 are the different sides of this cube. So 6 sides on a cube. And then finally we have something called detail, and this is information about this whole object in general. Okay, I hope this is not too confusing, but this is going to be used very often, so you will really learn what this means. Okay, so let's continue and do something with this box. So let's see something we can do. Let's do a scatter. So press Tab and type scatter. And then we connect this to the box. And you don't see anything change because we still have this blue selected on the box. So if I now click on this scatter on the right side, then you will see scattered point on the box. And now this node is the one that is displayed. And if you still want to know how the box looks like, you can use this button here, and that will create a reference. So you can see what box was used there. Okay, so now we have something. So let's do something more with this. So for example, we may want to have more sides on the cube. but we don't want to create something from scratch. So instead we're going to subdivide the cube. So press tab and subdivide. And now we can place this node in between and wiggle until it is connected. And now you can see here that the dots have a kind of a different shape than before, and you still see this cube. And this is because this pink mark here is the cube and the blue mark are the dots. So if we instead set the pink mark to subdivide, it's a bit hard to see. So let's select this blue here. Then you can see the subdivided box. So the box subdivided and with points. So you can see how this works procedurally. And this is still not very interesting. So let's add something more. I'm going to hide this. So press tab and type mountain. Okay. And if you connect this is not going to have any effect yet because this will require more information than we have here. So if you look at our geometry spreadsheet at the points, we only have the actual coordinates, and this mountain will require something called a normal. So let's look at what a normal is. So I will go back to the box here and add after here something called a normal. So tab and normal, and connect this here and then set this as blue. And we still don't see anything. But if you look at the geometry spreadsheet, on the second you can see we have normals on the vertices, and that's not what we want. We want the normals here on the points. So when you have selected the normal, press P, and then you can change the parameters of that node, and then add normals to points. And now you can see that it added normals to the points instead of the vertices. And we want to see this in the scene view, so I'm going to expand here and then click on this normal icon. And now we can see the normals. Okay, and then if you look at the next node, the subdivide, you can see that these normals now follows through in the chain all the way down to scattering. So this is the power of a procedural node-based workflow. And now if you look at this mountain, it is displacing this geometry along the normals using a noise function. And we can also animate this. So select the mountains and press P. And then here we have something called time, and we want this is now constantly set to time0. So instead press shift and type a $mark and here a big T. So this is a variable that is the time. And now let's expand this bottom bar here, and I will hide this to make it less confusing. So this is the timeline, and if I now press the play button, you can see this is wiggling about. And let's go to the node view, press P to hide the parameters. And usually we, at the end of the chain, we add something called a null node. So press tab and type null, and then connect this to the output. And then we call this, for example, out. So this is now a complete geometry setup. I will hide this reference as well so we see the main. So if you now press the U key to go up, Then we have our geometry here, and we can rename this to my geo, for example. And as for the viewport, you can, let me hide the timeline. You can hold the Alt key to rotate, and you can use the middle mouse button to pan, and you can use the right mouse button to zoom. So this is a complete Houdini setup. So now you know how to create something using SOPs, and let's go into one of the other, maybe DOPs, next time. I hope this was helpful, and see you next time. Over and out.